Welcome back to the Joe Ferrero Show. Today we're going to talk about, yes, how to have your chicken coop, of course, how to select your chickens, how to feed your chickens, how to maintain your chicken coop, and also how to enjoy your eggs. And now the question is how many chickens you should get. And the question really is, how many eggs do you want? I have 21 chickens, and I end up having 3 roosters when I bought my flock, which is not a good thing. You should have 1 rooster per every 10 chickens to avoid them overbreeding and mess up the back of your hens, like you can see here. Okay, so what kind of breed I got? I got Rhode Island Red and Barrett Rock. Both of those breeds, they give me around 300 eggs a year, which is great. They're docile, they're sweet, they're not aggressive as other kinds of chickens. But the other question I get a lot is, do I need a rooster? Because some people find them annoying, but honestly, they're really good to protect your flock against hawk attacks and other animals. So yes, you should get a rooster. All right, let's talk about the chicken coop. The one that I selected was a shed made out of aluminum, which I had to pressure wash it, paint it, do the doors, and get it ready for the chickens. It's very nice. Looks beautiful, right? And of course, I also had to do their nest. I bought some milk crates from Home Depot, cut them, put them together, and made this beautiful piece. So now that you know how to build a chicken coop, now let's go get the stuff that we need to feed the chickens and many other things. Are you ready? I'm not. So we're gonna be heading to Tractor Supply. This is where I usually go to buy the chicken and the ducks food, and they have pretty good pricing, even though things gone expensive for us farmers to be able to keep up. It's not an easy thing to do. My farm is in a dirt road, so it's gonna be a little bit of a bumpy ride. So raising chickens can be a little bit challenging sometimes, depending on the area that you live. For us that we live here in Georgia, unfortunately we have a lot of predators that we have to be careful. We have coyotes, we have foxes, we have raccoons, we have hawks, eagles, you name it. I mean, we got a lot of different stuff. We even have snakes that sometimes they get into the chicken coop, and they're not big enough to eat a chicken, like in Florida, that they have this big pythons. But these snakes, they eat the eggs. So, you know, the final product that we're looking for. So, yeah, it could be a little bit challenging. Also, another thing that we have to consider is the weather. We have different seasons, and when winter comes around, can also be challenging. Not so much because of the temperature that is going to affect the chickens per se, that is going to hurt them, but you know, they don't lay as much as they do on summertime. But when it's time for them to drink the water, if the water doesn't have a heater on it, it freezes, and then of course they're not able to drink the water. So you also have to put a heater in their water supply so they have water that they can drink. It's not frozen. So all these things you have to think of, you know, as you face the changes of the seasons here in Georgia, especially here in Georgia. So being a Florida native, I was not used to all these changes. So last year was a little bit challenging for me, when I didn't think about the freezing temperatures and they were not going to have water. So, but don't worry, that's why you're here, for you to learn from all the mistakes that I did so you don't make them. So we're getting here to Tractor Supply. This is the closest one for my home. Oops, sorry about that. Bumpy here, and wow, there's a lot of people here today. So here we are. There is one of my favorite places, Tractor Supply. So here we are in Tractor Supply. They got a lot of stuff for farming and outdoor enthusiasts that likes birds, and for cattle and all that stuff. So let's see if we can find out where the hell they put the pine shavings, which we're going to be needing it for the bedding for the chicken coop. But yeah, because they usually have it outside, but because it's been raining, I guess they try to put it somewhere else. Now I gotta find out where it is. But anyway, we're gonna go into picking up first the feed. This is the feed I use. It's from the Pride brand, Producer's Pride, and this is the scratch grains also that I give them to give them some energy. But I use this layer feed, as you can see here. It's got 16% protein, and it's specially made to help the chickens lay eggs. And this one here, the scratch grains, gives them energy, and you know, it keeps them happy. So I usually get 2 bags of those, are 50 pounds, and they last approximately 2 weeks, depending how active the chickens are. But I get 2 of those and get 2 of the scratch. And Tractor Supply, they are $15.99 for the layer and $14.99 for the scratch. They're pretty good. They're really good. That's a great price for 50 pounds of food. So we got the scratch and the layer feed ready. Now we just got to get the pine shavings, we're gonna need 4 of those to be able to do it the way it's supposed to be done, the right way. Okay, so these are the kind of pine shaving that I use for the chicken coop. These are is fine pine shavings, which are very, very thin. I don't usually like those much. They don't absorb that much. I use these kinds. So we're gonna get 4 of these to be able to change the ones I already have in my chicken coop. Okay, so we got the pine shaving. Now, I highly recommend that you have a truck, because with the food and the shaving, you're gonna need a lot of space to carry this. So as you can see, I have a 150 and 4 bags for the feeding of the chickens, and the pine shaving take pretty much this amount of space. So yes, definitely you're gonna need a truck. So a lot of people ask me, how much money do you end up spending to be able to buy these things? Well, it was, the exact amount was $99.64. But realistically, you only need to spend $14.99 per bag of food every 2 weeks. So it's gonna cost you like around, I will say, $60 a month. Anyway, it's getting hot in here, and I like the song, and I'm gonna have to take this thing off. So how cold is it? We are waking up now with around 45 degrees in the morning, and then it's going up all the way up to, I would say, almost 70. We are the beginning of February, so yes, we're already heading out from our winter season. So let's get back home. So we are returning now to the ranch, to the farm, and we are about, I would say, around 6 miles away from it. So we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Okay, so we're already getting into the dirt road to go inside the ranch. And you know, of course, like I told you before, it is a little bit of a bumpy road. It's made out of mud. Okay, so this is the, you know, the entrance of the ranch. So we're gonna drive all the way to where the chicken coop is at. It's behind the ranch. I got here some trails that I did last year. I still gotta cut some of these trees here on this side, because when I come in with a truck, it doesn't allow me to pass through without scratching it. It's a little cabin I have here in the back. I'll show it to you guys one day. That's another project I have to work in. Yeah, not easy. Okay, so here we are at the chicken coop. So before we do the cleaning of the chicken coop, I want to show you the condition of it. You gotta learn that chickens poop a lot. So as you can see, you walk in here, and we have, well, actually we have a chicken here. Take it close. That is still in the nest. So she's trying to lay an egg. We already got 3 in this side and 3, and we will see what's going to be the total tonight. But what we're going to be doing today is we're going to get rid of all this old pine shaving, and we also going to fill the feeder. The feeder, as you can see, it's a trash can that I turn into a feeder, and these pieces here are sold in Amazon. I will put the link in the bottom so you guys can get yours. And these you can actually buy them in Home Depot or any hardware store, garden store. So this is another thing that you're going to need. You're gonna need a wheelbarrow. I bought this also in Home Depot. It's a Husky poly wheelbarrow. It's made out of plastic. It has solid wheels, which is great because here in Georgia we do have a lot of rocks everywhere, and sometimes it gets through the wheels and you're going to get a flat, so it's going to be a headache. So these are solid. These are hard rubber, so I'm pretty sure they're going to last for a long time. But definitely this is something that you're going to need. The other thing that you're actually going to need too is this water bibs. These are installed also in another trash can like this one, plastic, and you drill the holes, you place them in there, and the chickens already know to use their beaks to go like this, and you can see water comes out. Once in a while, some of them they'll pick at it so much that they pull this thing out. It has a spring in the back, and when they do that, of course the water's going to start coming out, and then you're not going to have any water. The reason why I have the water outside and the food on the inside is because in the past they have done that. So they flood the whole place and it becomes a mess. So at nighttime they go in there for a few hours, and then in the morning when I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, I open the chicken coop, and they stay inside because until they don't see sunlight, actually they don't come out. But as soon as they come out, they get hydrated and they start the day. So one of the things I recommend is for you to have also a pair of gloves. You know, you may think like, you don't actually need it, but you really do. When you start working with in the farm, you're definitely going to need a good pair of gloves. I got these in Harbor Freight. I'll put the link on the bottom. They are made out of leather and they're really strong. They're really good, and they keep you warm in the winter, and they protect you during the summer too. The brand is Hardy work gloves. I use large, and they are incredibly good. They last a long time. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is not bring down the food and fill the feeder, but taking the feeder out of the chicken coop, because today we're going to be cleaning it. So we got to get the chicken coop ready. Now, I wouldn't like to bother the chicken that is there, but unfortunately, most likely you're going to have to do something about it. So I created this system. Okay, so I'm able to lift this thing up, tie it down, and that way I'm able to keep this piece up without pretty much interrupting the chicken, and you're going to see the need for that. So another thing that you're going to need is a shovel that is made specifically to pick that thing from the floor. And it's going to be the scoop shovel. This one is square at the bottom, so it makes it easier for you to just use it and pick things up from the floor where they're going through a lot of strain. when things are extremely bad and to protect yourself also, I try to use this 3M filter that will help you out not to breathe a lot of the dust and stuff that is in there. So when we're going to refill the nest for the chickens, you're going to be using hay. I love to use hay. I buy this also in Tractor Supply. Another thing that we need to get out of the way is this steps that I put in here. This is where the chickens you know, go to sleep at night. I also built this. So we're gonna put it softly in here without scaring the chicken too much. Okay, so I'm ready to protect myself, of course. I'm gonna put this mask on, and you won't be able to hear me that well, but I'm gonna be safe. I don't want to breathe that in there. This to the woods, but this also can be used for your plants. If you have a garden, this will be great for it. Very, very, very good. So another thing that I like to use is this beat up broom that I have, but it's great for the chicken coop. So what I do is I remove this piece here. And I try to detail the chicken coop as much as possible. I'm trying to get to the corners, places that it's really, really hard for the shovel to get into. And I know some of you are asking, oh, he does not wear the mask. He's not having the mask on. He doesn't have the mask on. Well, at this point, all the real bad stuff is already out. This is just a little bit of a chicken poop left. So you don't really have to have it on because already the bad stuff came out. I'm just a perfectionist and I like to really clean it. Now leave some of the stuff that I can move out. Turn it up a little bit. My grandfather used to say, do the things right the first time and you don't have to do it again. And he's right. So as you can see, we have a little bit of it left that I push it here to the front because Mother Nature will take care of it. It's not much. And the chickens helps too. They help out to spread it around, spread it out of the way. So let's go into explaining why I have this piece right there in the entrance of the chicken coop. And the reason is that once you put this piece on, and I learned that, of course, the hard way, when you put the pine shaving, it's not going to come out. Chickens like to scratch, move things around, and when they do that, in the process, they start moving, the pine shaving is going to start coming out in the bottom, and you waste it. So by having this, it keeps this thing on it. So you're wondering what's next. Okay, so we finally got the hard part out. That was the hardest part of keeping up with the chicken coop. Of course, I got also my beat up room, and I went into the corners and try to get rid of all these spider webs that there were, especially here that has a vent. You want to make sure that you have good circulation inside your chicken coop. You definitely need that. I have installed a camera, Once View, which you'll be able to also see in the link below in the channel if you want to get one, and that way I can take a look into the chickens and watch them when the doors are open. You know, at nighttime when they close it, there's no way of anything getting in here. It's super sealed. This chicken coop, it's made out of aluminum in the outside and pieces of iron and wood everywhere, so it's almost impossible to get in here. So one of the things that I find extremely useful for those of you that have a farm is having all the equipment that you need on a daily basis. Besides the gloves, I also use a headlamp. I carry a knife with me all the time. As a matter of fact, I got this knife a year and a half ago from this brand. And it's great. It's a great knife. It stays sharp. And I use a knife all the time. You're going to see how much I use it. Also, I carry a flashlight with me from Coast. Very useful. You know, those are the things that you should have with you. Not only in the farm, you should have it with you all the time for safety purposes. You can be in a restaurant and you need light. Some people use the phone, of course, in these days. But I like to rely on my phone. I like to rely on my knife. And I like to rely on my weapon, which we're not going to talk about that today. Okay, so we're going to get this pine shaving, which are great. And they smell so good. This is the part that I really love when I take care of the chicken coop, because this is the time that you really enjoy the smell in here, or the only time when you do the pine shaving. So what I usually do is, get my knife out, of course, and try to break it right in the middle here, because these pine shavings are compressed. As you can see, they start opening it. So this part is going to be hanging out. And because it's so hard to spread it on the floor evenly, by doing it this way, you just kick and it stays on that side. And that way also you come on this side now and you just can dump it. Nice and easy. Now, you should always pack your pine shaving more on this side of the chicken coop where they sleep more than anywhere else, especially on this setting that I have. Why? Because this is where they sleep. So this is where they go to the bathroom most of the time, or more than anything. So you try to not to keep an entire pack in here, but so as you can see, it's not easy to use your feet to spread it. That's why I have my beat up broom. So with this one, I'm able to do this. It's way easier for me to reach. I spread it. Oh, it smells so good. It smells so good. So now, it's not a whole pack in there, but it's almost. You should have like around 2 inches or 3 of pine shavings in the bottom of your coop. That way it keeps it nice and fresh for a longer period of time. Chickens will spread this evenly through the entire coop as they walk, as they start searching. And they like to sometimes eat a little bit of little pieces of the pine shavings. Don't know why, but they do like it. Now we're getting this one, and what we're going to do with this one is we're just going to put it right here in the middle with the same system. You can either cut it this way or you can cut it that way. I usually prefer cutting it this way. Of course, always taking your hand out of the path of the knife. Remember, safety is always first. You don't want to go like that and cut yourself. And as you can see, it's nice. Very nice knife. Go like that. So we can lift it up from this side and go like this. Kick it that way. And then, see? Way easier to be able to spread it. Now we want to keep a hole in here because this is where we're going to be putting the feeder. So there's no need to put anything under the feeder, especially because
It's dry food, so it's not going to get wet. It's not going to get raw down there, and there's no need to put that there. Wow. What a difference from this to that, right? Yeah, it's a big difference. It's a great workout. Not like going to the gym, but not bad. On this one, I put it momentarily here. So now I can lower down these steps. I put my bungee away. And now, very quietly try to put this one on, because this guy is looking at me like, don't be disturbing me. I don't want to freak her out. So this time I'm cutting it this way. I think I did pretty good. The chicken did not get upset, I think. So let's see if I can. You see, they already started coming in because they really like it when it's fresh. Okay. Oh, she laid an egg. Nice. Nice. Okay. So now I'm trying to take care of the corners here. So it'll be nice. And we can actually kick this one because the chicken's not there anymore. Push some of that way. Now, like I said before, you don't really have to spread it like so evenly that it looks perfect, because they will walk around it and they'll even it out. So you're going to be fine with that. Okay. Okay. That should be pretty good. Now, pick up the garbage. Put it here. And we're going to place the feeder in here. And try to clean the top of it, that it gets really dirty. Some people like to put sharp objects on the top so the chickens don't go in here and make this mess, but I haven't done that. You must be wondering, what the hell is that towel doing there? And the reason is, when the temperatures drop here in Georgia, if you don't cover exposed plumbing that you have, the water will freeze and it will burst the pipe, and then you'll have a mess in here. So that's why we try to do the best that we can and cover. Oh, you see, I don't have a knife. I left it in the chicken coop. Okay, we got it. So we're gonna be removing these tie wraps that I had on. And of course, I have this thing, which I may not have to remove it. Do I? Yeah, I think I have to do it. Yeah. So these things are made to actually protect. So I can keep those there. Now let's make sure we put the knife back in our pocket. Okay, now we're good. Okay. So this is the time that the beat up broom becomes very convenient. We try to remove this as much as possible. It won't be perfect, but at least it will be decent. Just for a few hours. So as you can see, they're losing their minds already because they know I'm going to be putting fresh food. Those are my ducks too, and we'll talk about ducks the next time. So what we do is, they're heavy, 50-pound bag. Make sure you always bend your knees, don't mess up your back. So I use these steps here to be able to place the bag so I can open it. There's no need to use the gloves now anymore. Actually, they are on my way. So just pull out, so open it, put it in your pocket, because they may try to eat this. They think there's something or warm or something. You just bend your knees, bring it to your chest, hold it. Voila. And this will be bag number 2. Yep. Okay. So now that we clean the cover, almost, we'll try to spread the top so it will be even, so we can close it. Because if not, they'll jump in here and they'll make a mess. So. All right, so the feeder is ready. The bedding, it's ready. So now we're gonna work on filling the nest so they will be nice and fluffy, because that's how I like it. All right, guys, slow down on your eating, okay? The food costs a lot of money. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill them up with hay. So this is the hay that I already had. You can get this also in Tractor Supply, a bale for $8. And it lasts like 6 months or more. So as you can see, they're already having a party here. So what I do is I get a little bit of hay, put it here. So I can, I try to fill them as much as possible. so they can be, like I said, nice and fluffy. Anyway, the chicken, when it lays here, is gonna fix it. So what I'm going to do is move these eggs on this side, and sometimes leaving some eggs in the nest to be picked up at nighttime, like I do, works out better for me, at least, because they see eggs in there and it seems like it motivates them to put more eggs. So we are basically done with the bedding, the feeder, and the nest. So that is pretty much the maintenance that you have to do, once in a while. You have to be looking at it. It changes depending on the amount of chickens that you have, depending on the weather, depending on many factors. So those things change. They can eat more, they can eat less. There's many factors that can alter when are you going to be doing this. But I try to keep up with it because I want my animals to be healthy. I want them to be happy, because when they're healthy and they're happy, they give me more eggs. So now we're going to take care of their water. I have like a little pool on the other shop where the chickens and the ducks go in the morning to bathe and also to drink water. But I have this, and where the chickens and the ducks come to drink the water. They have learned, I guess, from the chickens. So we're gonna fill this thing up. So the higher the water is all the way to the top, the better. The reasoning behind it is that the water is going to create pressure and it's going to push down on those pins on the outside. So when the chickens, as you can see, when the chickens get close to it and they start picking on it, the water comes out with pressure and they are able to drink more water instead of just little drips when there's not a lot of water in there. So I try to keep it as full as possible so they can get that nice stream, like when you drink from a water fountain. That's the effect you want from them. So now we're gonna wait until nighttime falls so we can pick up the eggs, and the next day do a nice breakfast with those beautiful eggs from Ferrero's farm. Okay, so it's time to pick up the eggs. Like I told you guys, I'll wait until the night falls. So the chickens go into the coop. Oops. Yeah, it's pretty dark out here. Yeah, as you can see, it's pitch black right behind me. So I use a red light so I don't bother the animals. Let me show you what I see. The chicken coop is not very far from the ranch. So I come in here with the red light, they're all inside. Yeah, this is how they sleep. And with the red light, I can see better. It doesn't mess up my night vision. And we're going to see how many eggs we're going to be able to get. Already see 3 here. I see another 3 here. 6 and 9. So we got 9 eggs tonight. Of course, we did this cleaning and disturbing their way of being. So maybe that's why they didn't give me at least 14 eggs or 18 eggs tonight. So as you guys could see, this is where the chicken coop is. Of course, you can hardly see it. I have a little solar light there, but everything else, it's pretty dark. This is the back of the ranch. So we're now walking back with the eggs. And tomorrow morning, when I wake up, I'll have my beautiful wife make herself some either boiled eggs or fried eggs so you guys can see it. They're really good, they're really tasty. Not bad. All right, guys, we have reached the end of our journey. I hope I gave you all the details about how to build a chicken coop, how to maintain it, and all the details to keep it nice and beautiful. Now it's time to enjoy these beautiful eggs. Oh, remember, like, share, and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Until next time, to the Joe Ferrero Show. Thank you for watching.